Seems like we are starting. Good stuff. Let's go. Biggie immediately transforming into that. We're seeing some Nocturna strats coming out, which I don't know the Nocturna meta that well, or at all even. Focusing with a very, very early kill. Immediately seeing what's in that shop and killing for it. It's not that much, but using Bat Form to finish off that kill. Oh, they are surrounded. Biggie is going to screen watch and go back for the shop. They did farm up enough for it. That isn't the best shop to kill for, especially this early on. You don't get shops for the rest of the seed. Especially Biggie now purchasing probably the most important item in that shop by far. We have a Bloodshot kill for Biggie as well. He's going to use the Bat Transformation iframes in order to tank the hit out of the Bloodshot, but ultimately doing that to get the extra damage to kill off the Bloodshot way quicker. So already seeing some effective Bat usage out of Biggie instead of just cadence with but you turn into a bat when you die. And also with final boss. A pretty extended final boss. Focusing dropping the beat on Fortissimo 1 will not be able to get the chest. Yep. Biggie is definitely one to farm in Zone 1. That's just their general playstyles, to build up early on and then slingshot past their opponent. That's what we've been seeing historically out of Biggie's racing style. Still doesn't have too much more than Focusing Face, but Focusing doesn't have shops, which is pretty significant. Or at least it could end up pretty significant, unless this is a speedrun worthy seed, which chances are it isn't. Fuel spell for Biggie, that is a bit painful to miss out on. Or Focusing Face. Biggie is now just pushing out. Stopping for this Conjurer though. There will be a Ring of Courage, but doesn't have enough money for a second Conjurer. What just happened on Biggie's end? Biggie's push is, I can't comprehend that. That's too big brain. Some crazy stuff happened. Focusing Face will flawless the second boss and be rewarded with a shield spell. Now, the decision is on Biggie to choose which spell that he wants. And they will be keeping their heal spell. They seem to be happy with it. And despite all that building early on, Biggie is now pushing on forward and ahead of Focusing. With a better build, yes, has speed things, has double courage. That is definitely a speed thing that Focusing Face does not have. And also Quartz Armor, which is safety. Safety is good. It is safety. Effective use of the harp there to keep enemies at bay on Biggie's end. Biggie's probably just going to start running away with this. Focusing does have a worrying amount of health compared to Biggie's full health along with heal spell. Aw, Biggie using the Bat Transformation to do Core Riff. These Nocturna strats, I have no clue about what happens in the world of Nocturna, but it's just cool bat things, it seems. We'll be able to wipe out Core Riff very quickly with the Bat Transformation. Did Biggie just take... What just happened? Biggie just teleported. Darkness Telemonkey, I see. That looked really weird. I was like, was that stream lag or something? Okay, Biggie's continuing to take Telemonkeys. Widening this gap of a focusing face. Focusing does have one hit left on Core Riff, but is starting to get left in the dust. Biggie swapping off to an Obsidian Flail. With Courage, though. From an Obsidian Harp. And yeah, Biggie's shops are still alive. Betty is still alive on Biggie's end. And that will pay dividends. I kind of don't understand Focusing Face's early kill. Maybe it probably is a thing where they know that their opponent is markedly better than them, so they have to do something to make it work. But the thing is, you're playing against Biggie, and Biggie is, as I said earlier, known for building up. So if you're hoping to get a better build than him, it might not happen. It's less likely than with racers whose styles are just to push forward and go fast and hope everything goes their way. Focusing Face is down to half a heart with Risk Charm. I don't think that's intentional. Hello, Evtat. But nonetheless, Biggie building up bank of health. Continuing to outpace Focusing. Pixie on Focusing side will bring them up to 1.5 hearts, but once again, compared to Biggie, Squagus Hargreaves even. Yeah, Biggie's close around there. He barely took any damage. You know, also can push enemies back with the flail and everything. But in terms of safety and speed, and even aheadness, Biggie is definitely quite a bit ahead. In speed, safety, and physicality. Biggie's just taking these hits, just eating it. Who cares? Got some more bat action on Biggie's side. Very good use out of the bat. Feel like a lot of players who aren't comfortable with Nocturna in the side tourney will just play Nocturna with that sprinkled in when you die, mostly. Sometimes early damage up, and sometimes boss kills. But the way to use Nocturna seems to be way more than that. We got bats. Turning into a bat's really strong. Just need to know how to do it. Biggie having 6 cookies in tow should be a piece of cake for the rest of this battle. Using the water orb to clear out one of the batteries. Final batteries on 1 hit left, and there we go. Biggie has got the first point. 9:16. 9:29 race room time. But yeah. Focusing definitely trying to pull something to pull a win out of this, knowing that they can't go toe-to-toe directly with Biggie. but it won't pay off. Like Biggie just sweeping up. Oh, good stuff in shop. More good stuff in shop. Way too good stuff in shop. Still trying something. Creating a lead early on, even, but it will not be nearly enough to counter what Biggie ended up getting. And also the skill levels. Biggie's just fast. It's faster. But yeah, I do think risky plays are the way to go. If they're given to you, if the option to go risky is given to you, and you're an underdog, this much of an underdog, then you should go for it. Because otherwise you'll just get 3-0'd if everything goes normal. Then you're just banking on everything going normal, but I'm not sure. It's very situational, obviously. You have a nice in the seed. That's not the right go, okay. Stream delay. That's a thing. We are off on our second point. But yeah, that early shop kill is something you can only do with Nocturna. So we are seeing some Nocturna use out of Focusing Face. It's like, there's a spectrum of how Cadence you play Nocturna. There's like the Nocturna side of the spectrum and the Cadence side of the spectrum. And you want to be as far on the Nocturna side as possible. You just don't want to play... Well, I mean, your bread and butter stuff. Everything, most of what you do pretty much applies to Nocturna and Cadence, but it's the things that separate you from just playing Cadence that will save time here and there and will ultimately let you edge out the victory over someone who, say, doesn't play Nocturna as much. And we got some Leprechaun farming from our resident score runner, biggiemac. We got score strats. Can't escape them. Farming the Leprechaun using the bounce trap. Accumulating a small fortune immediately, and it will pay off. Look at this. There is Chainmail, which is better than Obsidian, but you already have Obsidian, so it's not huge. Already had armor. But 2 Cursed Hearts as well, which might turn into full hearts later down the line, and could end up being really good. Could have saved money with the shadows. Sad not having the foresight. Focusing Face would have a foresight, given that they screen watch. But both races, Bonk and Darkness Shrine. Biggie running up in bat form, using bat form to tank a Minotaur hit in the arena. To not tank, but iframe the Minotaur hit. And also to dish out significant damage to both the Minotaur and the King of Deep Blues. Ah, Biggie! Flying over the mystery trap there. To the trapdoor. There is a ring swap, but... yeah, that isn't the ring swap you want. Lack of holding on Biggie's end. Definitely would be comfortable with it, given score things. And we got Boss Shrine as well for Biggie. Taking Blood Whip with damage up at least? Okay, going to swap back it seems. Oh, that's good. Unless they aren't. Oh, they have Transmute! They got Wonder. Yeah, cool. They know what they're doing. So that's neat. Focusing Face doesn't have anything in comparison. Doesn't have the health pull. It does have armor at least, and piercing isn't a bad ring. And a spell as well, but they're gonna need to have a lot better of a build than that if they want to keep pace with Biggie. Got some bat strats to deal extra damage to the final hit of Death Metal. Focusing will find another spell, and we'll decide to keep Pulse instead of Bomb. I feel like Bomb isn't a bad choice, given Nocturna's final bosses. That goblin on Focusing's side was a bit scary. Confused goblins never are a fun time. Yeah, Biggie's just going, really. Regenerating way more health than they're taking. Hey. Biggie using iframes very, very liberally there, out of the bat transformation, but... guess what? We'll only take... pretty insignificant amount of damage. And I think most of it was... just from not having Wonder when you turn into a bat. Transmute your Wonder back into becoming. Okay, Biggie is in a bit of a situation here, but... okay, yeah. That could have turned really quickly, but... using that to get off the U. Needs to be a bit more mindful of health now. But should recover that up very quickly. Uncertainty take on Focusing side. It looks like a longsword or a staff. It's a staff. It's a titanium staff. Focusing using Pulse effectively to finish off the mummy. Bad Telemonkey on Focusing side, but won't end up with them dead, luckily. Will just cost them time, but they will still be alive. Meanwhile, on Biggie's side, it continues to look as bright as day. Sure, just eat that hit. You have armor. You have damage up. You have regeneration of all kinds on the Blood Broadsword on Wonder. Just get everything you want. It's that easy. Focusing is managing to keep pace though, but definitely is starting to lighten on the gas a bit, given their health situation. Piercing in Zone 4 can pay dividends, and it has been. But on Biggie's end, just going, the luxury of just being able to go. Don't need to worry about the exit. Hey, we got a Wraith hit on Biggie's side, but shouldn't mean much. Doesn't have a potion. And they were at full health when they got hit. And they'll just be able to regenerate a lot of it too. Focusing, going down to the wire. Half a cursed heart left. Being a bit cautious with this metronome. As Biggie finishes off Frankenstein Way, moves on to the conductor. Good handling of that confuse. He's just smashing through the dragon in 2 hits. 5 damage. Blood Rod Sword. Biggie is regenerating health. Focusing, meanwhile, pushing through 5-3. Still being careful, stacking on a few freezes onto Frankenstein Way. Getting value out of the Snowbro, but Biggie is ahead. Focusing. Going into unwanted bat form. Hey, bit of a beholder CoNDOR moment on Biggie's end. Focusing, meanwhile, able to recover back into human form. But they are too far behind. Once again, we got Water Orb clearing out one of the batteries for Biggie. Very strong showing from Focusing Face. I was worried they'd just get left behind completely. But no, they managed to keep this close at least. There's a whole conductor fight coming. Yes. 1 from Strength Charm, 1 from Boots, and 2 from Wonder. GG's. Let's tape on the second loot. And we go into our 3rd seed pretty shortly. We've had 2 pretty monstrous builds on Biggie's end. Biggie usually ends up with good builds in a reasonable time, no matter what. We have another nice seed. This time in the same position actually as the first one. But here we go. Let's see if Focusing can manage to snipe a single loot off of this set. We are off. Biggie immediately going into bat form to crack open the barrel. Tier 3 cracked wall spotted on Biggie's end. That is a good shot. Biggie is choosing to kill. Picking up Ring of Courage. I mean, not Ring of Courage, not that ring. Ring of Piercing and Shovel of Courage. 2 very good items. Focusing will opt to do the same. Using Nocturna's special ability in order to get an early shop kill off. Biggie using Gigantism to finish off the Blood Shopkeeper quickly, along with the Spiked Ears. Ear Muffins. They have gone down to 1 Cursed Heart and a half Red Heart, but they should be able to handle that fine. Focusing, meanwhile, is just going to buy an item off the Blood Shop, not the Bomb Spell. Yeah, focusing, regenerating health off of the Skeleton Closet pretty nicely there. It's going to give them a pretty healthy amount of health. Biggie sacrificing the Ring of Piercing in order to take Darkness Shrine. Also 50 pieces of gold, but also immediately taking a Bright Torch. Very likely did not mean to do that. But we have a flawless victory on Biggie's side. And another flawless on Focusing's side. There is an Obsidian Heart in black. Focusing, waiting a bit. Screen Watch will get a pretty solid ring swap there. So as we've seen with Wonder in the previous race, that 1 heart container goes away when you transform into a vat. Which usually shouldn't matter, but 1 heart can end up being a lot more when you're running to the limit. Swap to an Obsidian Broadsword once again for Biggie. You've seen the same thing happen in the first race, swapping off Obsidian Harp, finding an Obsidian Broadsword, and taking that instead. Got some Nocturna iframes to aggro Coral Riff. Turna boss strats coming out. Focusing will be the first one down into Zone 3 by a hair. They only have the base Cutlass that they began with. But yeah. Okay, Biggie is frozen. That's not good. Hang on. Let me just refresh that. Okay. We're back. What are you capturing? Oh, no, it's frozen again. Well, that's not good. They are offline. Oh no. Hopefully, whatever's happening to them, their internet goes back on, and the stream goes back up before the end of the race. But if this gets contested, that will cause issues. Focusing, running down to half a heart. Not as risky as with Cadence, since you have Bat Form to fall back upon. But still not comfortable. Biggie streams and see back. Chat went offline, that is possible. But let's see. Biggie is now in the lead. Still running Darkness, but there is a Ring of Might. solid ring swap, not as good as Peace, but it's better than many of the other rings. Okay, Biggie getting full surrounded. Very, very spooky there. But has the foresight to transform into Bat to once again save themselves from Goo. Could have been a pretty scary Goo mishap, just like we've seen in the first race, but Biggie definitely comfortable enough to handle scary situations like that. Pop in a heart transplant and is going to go fast on an already fast VPM floor. Yeah, Focusing Face has been rolling with low health very, very well this entire set, but despite playing optimally, they're just getting trailed behind. We have some sort of staff from the Thinking Shrine. Still don't know what it is, what kind of staff it is. Biggie will holster the broadsword and use the staff as their main weapon for the time being. Good earth out of Biggie to prevent taking damage after getting grabbed by the monkey. Focusing seems to have dropped a beat there. Possibly to try to kill that metal quicker. Might have been lag or something else. But Biggie is already down Frankenstein way. See, 13 bombs to boot as well, so not too worried about having a lack of bombs. Not worried at all, even. Hey, I think that was a Panic Earth or something. Just to deflect off damage on Biggie's end. Focusing now on Frankenstein way. Still put enough. A pretty good fight. What was that on Biggie's end? He just... I don't know. I don't know, Nocturna. Something cool happened, but I don't know what. Oh, is it... You can do that? With the staff? What? That is... I have never seen that before. That is crazy. But Biggie taking a hit, going into bat form, and they won't go down. Focusing Face is not in a good situation either. This is their chance though. Take it slow. Regenerate health here while you have things under control. Nope, they're just going back into human form. This is all on Focusing then. Needs to finish off this fight by taking a hit, going into involuntary bat form. The worst kind of bat form. Yes, does have a cutlass, as Albie stated. Which, this fight is kind of designed around having parries, given that it's a Nocturna boss, but they will go back. I just say farm before things get crazy. And they will get crazy. They are on half a heart. Yeah, you have the chance to just farm up health with the bat form. Well, things are still very much manageable, still under your control. But yeah, they definitely are playing decently safely. Taking things slow, no need to rush at all, just need to finish this off. They will blow themselves up from the broadsword's neck and walk into a Minotaur. We have a full reset. Double death on the Conductor. It's so much time to just farm. Just regenerate all the health that they needed. But that would be a time where you could just pause your game, breathe for a second, and then continue. And that would be very justified if you did that. But on the run back now, focusing being put at the back foot here, being a zone behind. I would assume that they are screen watching. I'm pretty sure they are, actually. They were doing some screen watching stuff earlier. Biggie is not in a good spot. Does have an involuntary bat form to fall back upon. But I wouldn't fault focusing too much for being in a panicky state of mind at that time. Because yeah, that was a situation. Definitely a situation. These racers are just running low on health. Who needs health? They do, but not right now. They need it later whenever they can get it. So they gotta go fast. Well, Biggie doesn't really need to go that fast, but they do have regen. So that will make things a lot more comfortable. Oh, this rider situation for Biggie. That was a great blood magic. Having the health through blood magic because of regen as well. Regen is such a good ring. We got an Ozuma strat on Biggie's side. Doesn't really care about building. Checking shops that they haven't checked yet, I believe. Otherwise, they know the seed. Both of these racers do, to some extent at least. Got more blood magics coming out of Biggie. He's continuing to push forward. Another good preventative blood magic there on Biggie's end. With Blood Rapier and Ring of Regen to recover the health. Yeah, both of these racers are rolling with a worrying amount of damage. Oh, then speaking of which, there's the damage up on Biggie's side. A worrying 1 damage. Focusing should be fine given that the Cutlass will get you out of hairy situations. For the most part. But Biggie does not have the parry luxury, but picked up damage up anyways, and also has the lunge damage. So it's not all bad. Not to mention the main feature of blood weapons, which is the regeneration. It's been adding up for Biggie. Very aggressive pushing on Biggie's end, just seems to want to make a statement out of this lead or something. But they are pushing forward very safely, so they definitely do know their limits and what they can and can't do safely. Having the blood rapier regeneration and ring to fall back on. So I can't really fault them too much for going fast, since they're doing it well within their limits. Ah, Biggie, what? Biggie. Biggie! Biggie, what are you doing? That was a great heart transplant. No, not really. That was horrible. What are you doing? You have all the time in the world to think about your actions, and you just did a bunch of the wrong ones. It's okay. He can... regenerate valve. You know, don't... I mean... You don't want to use heart transplant for speed with this much of a lead. You want to use it to make sure you don't get hurt, make sure everything's fine, but you did the opposite. You made everything bad. Yeah, this is a much more subdued conductor fight on Biggie's end. Has a bit of a chance to farm up, but Focusing Face isn't too far behind to not be a threat at all. They are very far behind though, so do whatever you need to do within reason to finish this. More water ball usage to clear out the batteries on Biggie's end. Always good to see that. A lot of Biggie's health is already back with the Blood Rapier's regen, and the arc damage, damaging a ton of enemies at once, and we got another water ball. Finish off the set. That last seed was something.